the camera and the microphone. So, Madam Mayor, to confirm that we are live streaming, and I will get the agenda up as soon as I can, but if you'd like to make a start.
Thank you very much, Town Clerk. Good evening, everyone. First item on the agenda this evening is the election of chair for a seconder, please. Councillor Barrow. Councillor Huckle, are you happy to accept that nomination?
I am.
Are there any other nominations? No. Could I have a show of hands,
Can I
please?
just ask for clarification of the proposer and seconder, please?
Proposed by Councillor Kate Weller, seconded by Councillor Pete Barrow.
Thank you, Chair.
Show of hands, please. That looks
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, which is unanimous.
Thank you very much. Committee, can I hand over to Councillor Huckle?
Thank you very much. Now we come to the election of a vice chair. Can I have a proposal for a vice chair, please? I haven't actually gone around and spoken to anybody, but Councillor Moore.
I'd like to propose Councillor Barrow.
Councillor Barrow, do you wish to be vice chair?
But if nobody else wants to do it, I will.
Do we have a volunteer? Can I have a seconder then, please? Councillor Bergman. All those in favour, please show. Well done. Yeah, everybody.
I'd like to thank Councillor Northern for his.
I'm sure you.
Yeah, I would be part of it.
Right, do we have any apologies for absence?
No, all 8 members of the committee.
For the board? Declarations of interest. Anybody have an interest to declare? No declaration.
So we've had none, no interest declared, and no councillors have sought dispensation for this meeting, Chair.
Thank you. I could welcome any members of the public that are watching at this moment. Oh, yes, we've got
one.
one. Well, here's a councillor. Anyway, any members of the public looking through the social media platform that we're broadcasting on, and welcome to you for this meeting. Next item is minutes of the last meeting, which was on the 5th of April. Not being present, I don't know if that's right or otherwise, so can I have somebody to propose their approval, please? Who was on the committee? Councillor Weller?
If I could just step in, Chair, with a little bit of clarification. Any member, whether they were at the last meeting or not, is able to propose, second and vote on this item. You are voting that they are adopted as a true record, not that they are a true record, but they are adopted as such. It's a very slight difference, but what that does, it allows for, say, in an election year, where there are no councillors who were at any of the previous meetings, it allows that the minutes can be adopted by anyone who is a councillor sitting on that committee able to vote. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. Councillor Weller, seconder, please. Councillor Gray. All those in favour, please signify.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Thank you. Any against? Any abstentions? Councillor, questions and statements. Any councillor with a specific question about the agenda? No, can't see right there. Public questions? Do we have any public questions?
We had none notified, Chair, no.
Thank you. HR process reform project, which is this item down here. Reliance team. On here. Number 8. And we have Lisa. We put them in there to pronounce next bit.
That's fine.
Muslin.
That's
Thank you.
well enough.
Welcome, Councillor's Business Manager, who's going to talk us through this item. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Also a report to update you on some of the changes in support by getting for our HR and health and safety. So it comes a range of areas, specifically looking mainly will be annual policy review, which we brought to council. That's complete, when the process of looking at that. So that report last week, so hopefully most people have had a chance to read it, and at the start, and everyone to know the form, take any questions.
Right, anybody wish to speak to the item?
Just to say that this is a really comprehensive piece of work, drawing together all of our processes around HR, including file management policies. Lisa's been leading on this and has really got us into a really good place with our new provider, and is starting to draw all the strands together. And as such, it's a good project that will continue to come before the committee.
Councillor Gray?
Hi, Lisa. Each element of the review, it doesn't rely on it all being ready before it comes before council.
Just the policies before council.
I was particularly interested in, because HR is going to take a while, I suspect. And I didn't want the rest of it to be held up whilst we wait for the HR bit. So things like health and safety and support line, those will be in place. We will wait till the end.
Yeah, so actually the support line, we're going to move up a little bit faster and get that launched. We already have some in place, but we'll start rolling it out to support people. The initial plan was for the policy review to be done first, because a lot of our processes and how people do things rely on the policy being in place. But we're going to do a HR policy review first, because it's one of the major areas that we need support in. Alongside that, we're already launching the Bright app. We're working on it in the background, so we've already made headway in getting that implemented and that set up. But yeah, it'll take a little bit of time, so we'll do interlink.
And our new HR provider, I'm assuming we've got a new contract, because given the issues we had with the previous.
Yeah.
You're happy with the contract we've got?
Yeah, contracts in place, we've done a lot of reviewing of it. They are being able to offer us the most, and one of the biggest things that we wanted as well was actually online training, in terms of data protection training, how to use, firewall safety, all that kind of stuff, and the basic training to make sure they're covered. That's something they can provide, so they've been able to provide us a whole host of things.
Are there any budgetary implications for this year?
No, this has actually come in a lot less than our previous years, and it's well within my HR budget.
Excellent, thank you.
Councillor Northam?
Yeah, it sounds like a bright future. And I wondered what reassurance you could give that Bright have supported other councils.
So we did actually reach out to Bright is a app that is purchased by Krona. So Krona, the main HR provider, Krona is national that works in the nation, and we did work in multiple with them about who they provided on multiple councils. But that's a concept that they picked up the SLTs and
But I think primarily supporting councils, that their sort of focus or.
They're cross sections, which is also important for us because we've got a lot of garden workers, we're running cafes at the moment, seasonal workers, so we need someone that could actually provide a whole host of skill sets, a whole host of risk assessments, not just focusing on councils, but they do provide for a lot of councils as well.
Is it all remote access, or is there any face-to-face access?
It's 24/7 helpline, calls, emails, all you want. If you wanted to get them to come in to help for a special disciplinary, if we got to the point of tribunals, they move into that as well. So that would come face to face, but yes, it's something we need at the moment.
Thank you.
Any other questions? I see down here that you've got a timeline, whether it can go to full council in September or if it needs to come back to this committee, which will delay it until October. Is there some mechanism perhaps that one or two of us could just see it before the September meeting?
I'm happy to do that. So this is specifically around the HR policies. They can be quite rigid on what we can and can't change. They were very clear with us before we started, where they've worked with councils before, and councils have gone back and asked to make changes. And they've categorically said no, or the insurance we purchased, the council we purchased it has come null and void. So we do have input, but I just want to reassure that, make it very clear to everyone. Policies are going to focus very much on being compliant, being fit for purpose. I'm happy to bring that forward to another meeting prior, if that's what you like. It can just be up to you.
Do you want a full committee or two or three of us?
That's up to you, what you feel you need to do.
If it's policy, sorry, Chair. I think the most important bit is the policy, is the, we're not complying with the so I personally would like to see them together with my council, so I don't mind whether it's offline or the fact probably is committee could probably take on meetings of reviewing and sustain.
That would need to pick something up mid to late August.
We could do it online.
If it's done online.
Yeah.
We can probably do them as they each become available, maybe helps better.
So I've got the first policy draft,
Whoever can attend on, do them, break it up.
Got the first policy draft with updated contracts and policies and just again, purely HR, this is not anything health and safety policies that would be dealt with separately. I've got the first draft for that, we sit down with SLT, make sure it fits with our kind. Absolutely got and all of that. Once it's done, I can send it over to you guys for the next review. So relatively could be within 6 weeks, 5 to 6 weeks.
Right, that's probably the way forward, and then we can give our comments back to you. So can we agree that, for the notice?
Of course, Chair.
Yeah. Anything else under this subject?
Sorry, Chair, can I just ask one final question? So, given what you just said about the rigidness of the supplier, I'm just wondering if you send us a draft policy and we give you feedback, are you able to change it?
They will, we can, I can go back and say that the councillors want us to do this instead, or so certain things, they're going to give to I'll give you an example, they're going to give us a recommendation of how we should calculate absolutes and how we should calculate trigger levels. If you don't particularly like that, we can go back and say, we want to check. It depends what you ask for. I don't know what you're going to look at and change. So yeah, it will depend what's legally compliant.
I'm sure we'll get back to that. I mean, we've got to take experts, HR, so that will drive additional costs through. I think.
No, we can review it. It's not
Thank you.
actually wrong, yeah. And also it will be updated by them. And anything that comes through the updates, we can bring back.
Right.
And as your head of paid service, I'm more than happy to be in on those discussions and give you any guidance you might need on what's actually workable for the staff who are going to be using these HR policies and management.
Then we can get it to council in early September.
right? Okay.
Okay.
5 years, we're going to make sure policy in council.
So a recommendation, members are asked to note the report and to add on that we will receive dated policies online and make comments back to you with a view to September full council submission. Can I propose that? Can I have a second? Thank you, Councillor Gray. All those in favour? Thank you very much. Right. Yeah. Thanks very much. Please, you need to stay with the rest of the meeting unless you desperately want to.
Thank you very much, everyone. Hit that one.
Thank you. Right, we've got information item, actions from previous meetings and the forward plan, which are attached under the item 9. Any
Light
questions?
on the screen, please.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Most of these are on hold or somewhere coming along, so. Then the forward plan covers the full council. Councillor,
So, at previous meetings, I've mentioned on the forward plan that the September meeting needs to include the endorsement of the pre-submission draft of the neighbourhood plan.
full council,
Full council.
Yeah.
I can see it filling up, and I've mentioned this at several previous meetings.
We have a feeling it is on the main board plan.
Okay, yeah. Thank you, Jane.
it certainly has been mentioned.
It has been mentioned. I keep mentioning. That's great,
If it's not, which it isn't,
right?
so the exact wording, and this is the overarching document now.
So the endorsement of the pre-submission draft neighbourhood plan. But the moment you have endorsed the initial draft, there will be further development of that plan. And this will full council's endorsement of this plan will enable us to go into the formal regulation 16 consultation, which will take 6 weeks. Slightly before that, we will have presented various aspects through public meetings and such like to give updates. That's a really critical activity that needs to take place in that timescale.
Is it intended that that will go to a committee beforehand, or is that intended to go straight to full council?
Last time I went straight to full council.
It's okay,
I will
just
continue to
checking.
keep planning and licensing committee in touch with what's going on. And I may, if there's anything particularly contentious, I'd like to bring it up to councillors' attention. It might be done out of committee, given that there isn't a meeting in August for council. That was my concern, that, you know, if you've got the 6th of September, the previous full council meeting, just might back up, is
Next week,
next week, is it?
yeah.
So it's a long time in between the full council meetings. So,
I can confirm, Chair, it's now on the main formal plan and will be included.
thank you.
Thank you.
So I'm happy. I think then what I'd like to suggest is that we do report to the aspects to other committees, because there are aspects of the neighbourhood plan which will affect other aspects, other committees.
So you wish it to also go to services and F&G?
No,
No?
I'll think about it and decide what bits should be presented when.
Okay,
Okay.
if you just keep us informed, we can
Yeah.
update the
Because
formal plan.
if it all comes at the last, at that September meeting, it's a bit of a sudden shock. I try and soften something there.
Thank you. Anything else? Councillor Bergman?
Thank you, Chairman. Just at the top, I think, I just wanted to understand it said interim, when there was an appraisal of the chief executive of the board company. So
I
it
think
is at the
so.
top.
Cover that off.
Yeah,
Well spotted, Councillor Bergman. The council has an agreed structure of annual appraisals. These include a 6-monthly review. My 6-monthly review is slightly late, but it will be held on Friday with Councillor David Harris and as leader, and Councillor Colin Hucker as chair of this committee.
Yeah, okay, so the word interim, so that's not relevant, then, is it?
It is an interim one because it falls between the main annual appraisals.
It's interim, right?
It's a monitoring meeting each 6 months to
Okay.
check. I'm turning up each day and doing something vaguely relevant.
Okay, thank you.
thank you. Any other questions? Right, I will declare this part of the meeting closed and ask for an agreement to exclude the present public because under the Public Bodies Admissions to Meetings Act 1960, members of the public and press are required to leave the meeting due to the sensitive nature of the item next to be considered relating to individual members of staff. Is that in a second? Thank you, Councillor. Well, all those in favour, please show.
May I ask a point of clarification? Which is that, as Councillor Bell is here, I would like him to have the opportunity to remain for that part of the meeting.
It's not usual, it's normally on a need to know basis, and councillors who are not on the committee are counted as members of the public.
I would be
legally.
delighted to depart. That's fine.
Sorry about that. Thank you for your attention. Okay. Yeah. Right, and those in favour of exclusion of the public, thank you, I can.
Because there was,
Right.
oh, there are 8 now. I wasn't sure which way councillor Norman voted on that. So
Thank you very much.
thank you. We will just
Right.
stop the live